Greetings, lovers of mysticism and the unknown. Welcome to the Incredible Stories channel. We are explorers of the unexplainable and unbelievable. Today, I will tell you an interesting story. Brew up some goodies and enjoy. The strongest eruption of Volcano Shiveluch, located on the Kamchatka Peninsula, was accompanied by the most powerful ash emission in almost 60 years. The eruption caused a thick layer of ash to cover several settlements in the northeast of the peninsula, creating a semblance of a nuclear winter. The eruption triggered volcanic activity in neighboring areas, with Bezymyannyi also experiencing strong eruptions on April 7. This was accompanied by a strong ashfall that affected the slopes, with particles of porous volcanic rocks falling up to 5 centimeters in size. The ash column rose to a height of 10 to 12 kilometers and began to drift towards the southeast of the settlement Kluchi, but did not reach the settlement. On April 10, Shiveluch woke up again, and on April 11, a powerful eruption occurred at 6:20 a.m. local time, with the ash cloud reaching heights of 15 to 20 kilometers. The sky was covered with ash clouds, and it became dark as night, bearing resemblance to a nuclear winter. The volcanic activity has continued since then, with the Klyuchi and Kozyrevsk settlements in the Ust-Kamchatsky region, as well as the Esso settlement in the Bystrinsky region, getting covered with ashes that have reached a depth of 8.5 centimeters in Klyuchi. The situation is of maximum hazard level, and people are being urged not to go outside. Car traffic has also been stopped, and air flights have been canceled. The ash has already spread about 500 kilometers. Scientists are predicting that if emissions continue, the ash clouds will reach Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, which is the largest city and the administrative center of Kamchatka Krai. The last time something like this happened was in 1964. Kamchatka, known for its scenic mountains, pristine wilderness, and vast tundra, is home to some of the most active and dangerous volcanoes. The most recent volcanic eruption at Shiveluch, located on the northeastern side of the peninsula, was accompanied by the strongest ash emission recorded in the last 60 years. The eruption caused a thick layer of ash to cover several settlements, creating a situation akin to a nuclear winter. Volcanic activity has since spread to neighboring areas, with Bezymyannyi experiencing strong eruptions accompanied by ashfall. The volcanic activity is believed to be a result of the intersection of two major tectonic structures at the boundary of lithospheric plates, making Kamchatka's volcanoes particularly active. Klyuchi, the most popular volcano in Kamchatka, also experiences sporadic volcanic activities. Geologically, it is located at the intersection of two major tectonic structures at the boundary of lithospheric plates. Despite the danger, Shiveluch, Klyuchi, and other volcanoes in the region have become popular attractions for hikers and tourists. The unique geological structure of Kamchatka and its active volcanoes make it an ideal destination for scientific research as well. However, given the recent eruption, the government has advised residents and tourists to take necessary precautions and avoid going outdoors. The transportation system, with car traffic stopped and air flights canceled, has been disrupted, and people have been urged not to go outside without proper protective masks. Scientists predict that if volcanic activities continue, ash clouds will travel and affect other densely populated areas like Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky. In March of 1956, the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia had experienced a truly catastrophic volcanic eruption. The eruption was extrusive or explosive, with volumetric eruptions of ash and debris characteristic of volcanoes with viscous lava. Viscous lava does not flow out freely but piles up over the vent in the form of a dome overlapping the mouth, with gases accumulating under the dome. An explosion occurs when the next portion of magma arrives. The volume of ash and thin debris released into the atmosphere depends on the size of the dome. According to scientists, the predisposition to explosions in the Kluchi group of volcanoes arises from the presence of viscous, water, and gas-rich andesitic magmas. Big eruptions occur here with a frequency of once in 20 to 30 years and are always accompanied by ash emissions. A mathematical model shows that it usually takes about 3 weeks from the approach of magma to the surface to a large explosion. 5 months prior to the 1956 eruption, Bezymyannyi had begun to show signs of activity. Swells appeared on the slopes, and domes of viscous lava started to grow, and magma melt spread inside the entire volcanic edifice. At some point, one of the slopes of the volcano collapsed, and a debris avalanche, taking with it snow, soil, and vegetation, rushed down the river valleys. The collapse led to a directional explosion, which was caused by the collapse's reduction of the lithostatic pressure holding the magma together. The ash cloud produced by the explosion reached about 35 kilometers high. The material ejected by the explosion formed a pyroclastic flow, a mixture of high-temperature volcanic gases, ash, and rock debris. Its velocity exceeded 60 meters per second, and its temperature was about 300 degrees Celsius, spreading more than 20 kilometers away from the source. Like the ancient cities of Herculaneum and Pompeii, the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia experienced a catastrophic pyroclastic flow during the 1956 eruption of Bezymyannyi. In Herculaneum and Pompeii, people died mainly from volcanic gas poisoning. The red-hot pyroclastic flow sealed the rooms of the buildings, depriving the inhabitants of oxygen. The remains of the victims were preserved intact. However, Plekhov, a volcanologist, is confident that Kamchatka's settlements are not threatened by the same fate as Herculaneum or Pompeii. According to Plekhov, there are two significant factors that distinguish the eruption in Kamchatka from those experienced by the ancient cities of Herculaneum and Pompeii. The first is that Shiveluch, the main volcano in the region, is much further from populated areas. At a distance of 50 to 60 kilometers from the volcano, massive ashfalls like those experienced by Pompeii are unlikely. The second factor is that Vesuvius has a very specific magma that is much more gas-saturated than Shiveluch's magma. As compared to exploding volcanoes that eject ash and debris, the pyroclastic flow from the 1956 Bezymyannyi eruption spread at speeds exceeding 60 meters per second and emitted gases, ash, and rock fragments. It reached about 35 kilometers high, with its temperature estimated at around 300 degrees Celsius. The ash poses a more substantial health risk than the volcanic gases. Tiny silicate particles settle in the respiratory tract and lungs, potentially causing respiratory issues. In light of this, people are advised to stay indoors during the eruption and wear a medical mask if it is necessary to venture outdoors. The recent eruption of the Shiveluch volcano in Kamchatka, Russia, has caused concern among locals, as natural disasters can have a profound impact on communities. The psychic Daria Mironova believes that the eruption of Shiveluch is a sign that global change is on the horizon. Mironova believes that every natural calamity is connected to esoterics and happens for a reason, and only a few chosen ones can discern the message behind each phenomenon. As per the psychic's explanation, the seismic activity in the crust indicates an anomalous zone in the energy sector. Volcanic eruptions occur where the place of power is trying to get out, and it is not a good sign. According to Mironova, a volcanic eruption portends impending change and catastrophe. It is a symbolic sign of significant global changes and a symbol of fire, indicating that something new will occur and the old will be erased. The psychic warned locals to prepare for climate change and severe tests of fate. Mironova's interpretation of the ashy landscape left behind by the eruption points toward the destruction of the old and the emergence of the new. For Mironova, a volcanic eruption signifies the spirits of fire and the elements that bring conflicts, clashes, and unrest. While the spirits of fire can burn, they also restore and bring new awakenings, discoveries, and movements towards the future. While the future may bring challenges, Mironova also sees hope in the spirits of fire and the possibilities they bring. Overall, natural disasters like volcanic eruptions serve as a warning and provide an opportunity for people to prepare themselves for a potential catastrophe. As communities work to adapt and mitigate the effects of these events, they must also look forward to the future and the possibilities it holds. What did you think of it? Write in the comments. Be sure to get likes, subscribe to our channel, and check out other amazing stories.